Nymphs are minor deities of Greek mythology. Nymphs are often depicted as beautiful young women at the peak of their beauty and splendor. These secondary deities are associated with the fertility and fecundity of the natural elements. The nymphs inhabited the most diverse habitats. There were forest nymphs, country nymphs, mountain nymphs, marine and freshwater nymphs, and many others. Many of these nymphs are descendants of major deities who have a strong influence on the environments where they live. Like the Nereids and Oceanids, two types of sea nymphs, daughters of the ancient divinity who reigned over the seas, and the titan Oceanus. There were also dryads, wood nymphs. They took care of the preservation of the woods. Only the trees that were not under their protection could be brought down. The most famous of them was Eurydice, Orpheus's wife. There were also Oreads, mountain nymphs. Echo, the nymph who always repeated the last word said by his interlocutor, is the most famous of them. Another type of nymph is the naiads, who inhabited fountains, lakes, and streams. These were more dangerous because they severely punished those who dared to desecrate the waters dedicated to them. The nymphs could have different kinds of powers, such as healing, feeding, and restoring strength. Some had the power of prophecy. The nymphs, unlike the gods, were not immortal, but they had the gift of eternal youth. Their beauty and splendor were not affected by time. Despite being inferior deities, most of the nymphs had free access to the mountain Olympus, and the gods enjoyed their company. The beauty and joy of the nymphs, who sang and danced, made the fabulous banquets of the gods even more pleasant. Several gods and goddesses had nymphs in their entourage. The parades of Dionysus had several nymphs who mixed themselves with the Bacchantes. Poseidon paraded in the waters on his remarkable carriage, followed by Nereids and Oceanids. Artemis, the goddess of hunting, also had several nymphs from the forest in her entourage. These were also outstanding hunters. Due to their great beauty, the nymphs conquered hearts wherever they passed. Mortal men fell madly in love with these beautiful young women. But their charms nurtured passions that targeted more than mere mortals. The gods themselves were also enchanted by these beautiful creatures. Apollo fell in love with the nymph Daphne. In turn, Zeus gave in to the charms of several of them. But the satyrs, entities that represented the uncontrollable forces of nature, were the most vulnerable to the nymph's charm. The satyrs did not miss an opportunity to grab one of those precious nymphs. The nymphs started to be worshipped in the Greek world because they had influence. This practice also extended to the Roman culture, and there they also rendered sacrifices and tributes to these deities. Nowadays, the word nymph is still used to qualify young girls who are at their peak of their beauty and youth, and, just like the nymphs of antiquity, they can awaken passion and desire in the hearts of those who contemplate them.